Welcome back to the Florida West Coast Fishing Report with Captain Ron, Captain Sergio, and I think Captain Mike. Maybe he's off the plane yet. I don't know. He was flying back from someplace up north. So,
No, I texted him a few minutes ago. He's still on the plane.
Oh my God. All right. So I knew something like that could happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
okay. All right. Now I guess it says was live on my phone, so I don't know. But
You're
let's
still
see.
live.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. All this technology sometimes is way, way too much. There you go. I don't know. No, this is old stuff. I'm watching old stuff. Oh yeah. Oh man, this is real old stuff. All
No,
right.
you're live. I
Oh,
can
I
see.
am, but I mean, what I'm looking at. Here we go.
Uh,
Okay. All right. I'm trying to. All right. Now I see. Here we are. You and I. How lucky can we
Woo.
be? Hey, for the first time, everybody, I hadn't been freshwater fishing in such a long time. And Ron and I and Mike went out with Misty Kelly, right? Yeah, Misty Kelly,
Yep.
out of Hernando
Lake
County,
Hernando. Yep.
Lake
Lake
Hernando,
Hernando.
which is like 6 chains of lakes that all feed in to each other. And we really had a good time. What amazes me about those lakes, though, Ron, the water was so clean.
Yeah. They're obviously spring-fed lakes because most lakes aren't as clear as those lakes were, but they're very nice.
Yeah, I mean, I thought when you could see the bottom, you could see all the
Yeah.
grass and see everything. And like I said, I don't know how many of them are they all spring fed or just some of them, and they
I
just
don't.
feed into each other.
Yeah, I don't know. They were also very low. The water table is so low. Uh, which is kind of like a double whammy. The water drops and then the vegetation grows more because the water's shallower and the stuff at the bottom gets more sunlight. So there's a lot of vegetation in those lakes too.
And I just lost all the feed. That's Christ. I don't know. Let's see if I can get back on the stupid thing. Uh,
I think you're fine.
I I I don't know. I think I lost everything here. Let me get out and start all over again.
Bird dog that wants to be on the show.
Oh yeah. Well, let's see if I can find it in here again. I had it just a minute ago. Ah, here we go. I'm back on again. All right, I can see you on the phone. So anyway, when is this wind going to quit? You tell me, because I am so fed up.
June.
It's got to be better than that, man. I don't
All
know,
right.
Ron.
May 4th
There
or
you
March
go.
4th.
March 4th, whatever. I mean, it's just been, I'm looking at the long forecast as long as Windfinder lets me go. And it's all the way through next week. It's going to be the same way.
That's
I don't
not good.
understand. No, I mean, I don't understand what's going on. Well, we got Donald is listening in. Good evening. Yeah, I'm going to Hilton Head Island this Wednesday for kayak fishing. 9 foot swing tides.
Woo.
Where he's going, Hilton Head. Does
It's a
Hopa
big.
monitor the chats? Yes, he does. I hear and see you, but he doesn't. I hear and see you. Okay, so I guess everything's okay. Yeah, I can see you guys. All right, you know, I mean, I'm looking at this long range weather forecast, and it's going to be hot, but just I'm talking. You look at some of the stuff and it says 11 to 23, 11 to 19 knots, not miles per hour, knots,
Yeah.
and it's just
Yep.
kind of like you figure sooner or later something's got to change. When you
Yeah.
get out,
It gets old. It's too windy.
oh, No, we got lucky last Wednesday. It wasn't bad at all. You know,
We got
I
very
so
lucky, very
very
lucky.
lucky because
Yeah.
the weather was nice and everything else. And uh, like I said, it was funny fishing with those little minnows, those little tiny, tiny minnows. But hey, we got a couple of big. How do you say it? Crap,
Crappie.
crappie. I keep calling him crappie,
Put
crappie.
an, put an O there instead of an A, and
Yeah,
crappie.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But you know they fight pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, people all over the country fish for them, so
Yeah.
it's a pretty popular fish. We just, because we have all these saltwater options, we tend not to do it. But
Now I did notice that you know the bass. Well, we didn't get any really big bass, but it was how strange how a bass with a mouth that big was hitting those little tiny baits. You know. Now you tried artificials and you didn't do very good, did you? Oh, are you there?
have lost you.
Oh, I just lost you.
Are we back?
I lost Ron. Oh, is he back on?
Yeah, I'm back. I have
Okay.
no
What
idea
did,
what happened.
y'all think you're trying to hide from us. So you said Mike was still on the plane coming down?
Yeah, I texted him just to see where he was, and he said he was still in transit.
Oh man, poor guy. You know, but it's okay. Uh, there's a lot of things going on. The trout bite. You know, it's funny because when you look at I look at Facebook, and there's two ways to look at Facebook and fishing reports and Instagram. Either the guy's telling the truth and he shows you really what's going on. Then you have the guy that you look at the pictures and you know that yesterday the wind was blowing 20 knots and it was overcast and he's got clear blue skies and flat calm water. So you know that fish wasn't caught yesterday. And then I guess you have some of the reports that are people just being honest. Hey, or you don't when you don't get very many reports, like I haven't been seeing much of anything on Facebook, that tells me that the bite hasn't been that good or that people just aren't
Yeah,
going out. One of the two.
yeah. It seems like most of them I've looked at, they've been catching sheep's head. Uh, not monster sheep's head, but been catching some decent sheep's head. And somebody posted a good video today of a big school of redfish up around Crystal River.
Hmm.
Uh, it was
That's
a big
Mike's
school.
backyard.
Yeah,
You actually saw the school. They had the school.
yeah. It was some drone footage.
Wow.
So it was a lot of fish. I mean, it was posted today. I assume it was, filmed the last day or two, but you never know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, yeah. You never know. But I think the fishing is going to be. This is going to be a good year for fishing. I got my fingers crossed. I'm hoping. Uh, we just can't afford to get some real bad cold weather in April because that throws everything off balance.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
whole bait cycle.
yeah, if you go back years and years ago and I look at old reports, it was to keep track of all the stuff. A basic talk from the old timers back then was always April Fool's Day, kingfish are here in the St. Pete area, Clearwater area. Always
Mhm.
April Fool's Day, kingfish were here. The wind was up. It was always windy on April Fool's Day, but the kingfish were here. The bait was here. And then if you look over the last 5 or 6, 7 years, sometimes it's been May, late April before you see the kingfish. And
Mhm.
we've had some the last 4 or 5 years. We had some where Tampa Bay has had no bait till May.
Yeah.
So I don't know, you know. Uh, and then I was talking to some of the captains, a couple of captains the other day, and they were saying that they noticed that in their area, the patterns has changed a lot. Areas they used to go to a certain time of the year, you could count on redfish being there, or the snook, or the trout. They're going now, and it's not happening. So I don't know. Or yeah, they're catching a few reds, but they're not finding the schools like they used to this time of the year or whatever time, when you went. Because I remember Wheaton Island 5, 6 years ago, you could set your your calendar about the third week in March. Big schools of redfish would be going up and down the outside of that island, and you could catch 34, 38-inch redfish every
Mhm.
morning, and not just one or two. I'm talking about 8, 10, 15, or 20 of them. In the last 4 or 5 years, that ain't happened. Yeah,
Yeah.
you get one guy that'll show you on Facebook that he caught three or four, but overall, that's not happening. I mean, you get
Yeah.
one here, one there, and a lot of the times it's by accident. So I don't know. Uh, so
Yeah, I've noticed there's not nearly as many snook around my dock at night as there used to be. This is the first year there's very, very few snook, but then there's a way more trout. So there's a lot of trout, but no snook. So yeah, things have seemed a little different this year.
so maybe there's a trend. Now, last year we had a real good year for mango snapper. They came in early, and they were all. I got a lot of real nice big mango snapper last year in the bay. So last year was a good year. Let's see what happens this year. The other thing that you don't hear much about anymore, that used to be a big thing, was this was the month, probably starting in another 4 to 5 days, and maybe somebody's listening can narrow it down, that the big black drum will come into spawn inside the Meisner Bridge on the bar. And I remember about the first week of March to about the almost the end of the third week or the middle of the third week, there was places you could go to, and I mean, I got pictures, Ron, the sandy bottom, 4 feet of water, where you could see underneath my boat 40, 50, 30 to 50 pound drum, black drum, just moving around. And we used to just get a jig head with a live shrimp and just put it down and right next to the boat and watch them come in to eat it. And then they got where they went into the deeper water off of Pinellas Point. We used to have to use the sounder to find them. And then when you saw them in 8, 10 feet of water on your recorder, you drop the jig down with the shrimp. But the last couple of years, you don't hear anything about anybody getting drum anymore on the bars.
Hmm.
So in fact, you don't see a lot of them being caught under the bridges like there used to be. And that was a big thing. I remember I had a lot of clients that used to love to just go underneath and hook one or two of them because, man, they pulled your guts out. It's like getting a 40-pound grouper, you know?
Yeah, hopefully it's not people, keeping them and eating them. You know, hopefully they're out there somewhere.
Well, yeah, or, I don't think it's pollution in this area because the water looks pretty clean. So now a lot of people are complaining down south that a lot of it, the clean water stuff from Lake Okeechobee, it was hurting that water down there. But Tampa Bay water, well, you and I, when we were out a couple weeks ago in the bay, we could see down 12 feet of water. It was that
Yeah.
clean, you know.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not, any kind of contaminants. I mean, visually the bay seems cleaner. I hope it is, but I don't know what the scientists say.
Now, a couple of the people that I spoke to said that, like that spill from Piney Point, they said, Sergio, the water looks clean, but all the heavy metals went to the bottom,
Yeah.
especially close to Port Manatee area and that whole area. And yeah, the surface water is clean, but the stuff that went into the grass, into the ground. And I kind of believe that to a degree because there's some grass flats, 5 to 7 feet of water that I used to fish at Jason Prieto, 6 or 7 or 8 captains. We used to go there every year around April and May, and you could drop your power poles or your anchor in 6 to 5 to 7 feet of water. You could see the bottom, and you still see the bottom. You still see the grass, but man, there'd be tons of trout, big trout, and the mackerel would come in, and once in a while a cobia. In the last couple of years after that Piney Point, that last spill, I've been in there 4 or 5 times. before I got into Bishop's Harbor saying, let me try this because I know there's big trout in here and nothing. I mean, there's nothing. It's like the grass is there. And I wonder if the things like the little crabs and the worms and the stuff that was growing in the ground, in that grass, that brought some of those fish to that area.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's not there because the ground is
Well,
contaminated.
yeah. To me, you definitely don't see near the crabs you would see 10 or 20 years ago.
No, you
Blue
don't.
crabs, you just
Yeah.
don't see the blue crabs. And so, I mean, that's kind of a part of the food chain, a big part of the food chain. It's, I don't know, you just don't see them anymore.
You remember just up to about 3 or 4 years ago, you'd be fishing some of these areas and you have a crab get on your
Yeah.
hook. And
Yeah.
when was the last time that's happened? I haven't had that happen in a couple of years now, where I've had a crab, and a lot of these canals that we used to fish, once in a while, it could happen once or twice a day. You would have a big crab locked into your hook trying to
Yeah.
eat your bait. And I don't see that happening much anymore. So, I don't know what's, again, it's something that maybe we can't see. What we see looks good to us, but is there something wrong with the ground? Maybe. That's the other thing. I don't know. Uh, Blue crab claws are big on Hilton Head. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, up there. Like remember that big outburst that we had of I call them purple clams on the like Gandy Bridge was loaded with these big purple looking clams. They said they came out of the bilge off one of these boats that came into the bay to
Mhm.
pick up a load or unload. And for a bunch of years, we had those growing on the pilings. They said they were eating everything, but I wonder if that was a food source for like black drum and some of these other species.
Well, if you're a black drum, you're going to have a hard time finding crabs.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
There weren't many as there used to be. Uh, well, let's
yeah.
get, let's see, let's start with Jessica's fishing report today.
Hey guys, Captain Jessica Honovic with You'll Hook 'em Charters out of Chaskawiska, Florida. I was able to get out Saturday. It was low tide. We did have a consistent bite. High tide was at 2 o'clock, and from 2 to 5, the bite was even better. We caught some nice reds, some trout, and a 33.5-inch snook. We did use some really big selects shrimp, and towards the end we started to throw some artificials. The fishing seems to be doing well, and I think from now on it will just keep getting better and better. During the week I did a seminar with 2 other captains for a youth group. We taught them a little bit about boat safety, and then we were able to give, I'd say we had 20 to 30 kids. They all got rods. We set them all up for them, showed them how to set them all up. So that was really neat. I will be fishing tomorrow, and this weekend I have 2 tournaments. So we'll see how the fishing goes this week. If you want to come see beautiful Chaz and enjoy the backcountry, you can book with me at 352-464-7309. Once again, it's snook season.
Hey, Jessica. Yeah, get them to bite. But this is the weekend that Rolando's going to the Chaz.
Oh, he is going?
Yeah, yeah. They got that group that normally we go every year, but we got the boat show. And yeah, let's
Yeah.
talk about the boat show a little bit. Remember this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we got the Tampa Boat Show at the fairgrounds. And I'll be there with Captain Larry Fritz on Friday doing seminars, and we have a booth there. And then Saturday we'll have uh, Captain Ron, Captain Mike Haynes, myself. Uh, I think Ken Burke is going to be there, but we're going to have a whole bunch of people doing seminars, and we have a booth there. So we want you to come by and say hello, and we'll be there again on Sunday. And is Janan going to be there at all on Saturday?
No, I think Hal's coming, but Janan
Hal's
is
coming.
Hal's or Janan's on her way to New Zealand.
Oh, that's right. She's on a big vacation. Well, let me ask you this is a big question. Is Hal bringing catfish?
Hopefully, hopefully not. Hopefully, he just brings himself.
He's
Ser-
he gives
Sergio
us.
Sergio teases him because every time we go fishing, Hal seems to catch catfish.
He's like the catfish king, man. He's an attractant. I don't care. We might be in a place that catfish aren't allowed, and they sneak in for him. You know.
So Hal went to Panama a couple weeks ago, and he did catch some roosters.
Oh, he did.
Not
Did he
sure
send
what-
some pictures in?
Yeah, I got some pictures.
Did you
I'll
send
have
them
to
to
send.
Hota?
No, not yet. I will though. But he didn't catch any monster fish, but he had a good time and he caught some decent fish.
Good, good.
He had a nice trip.
And that's all you can ask. Did he get any sales of marlin or?
I don't think so. I didn't get any pictures, and I know him. If he did, I would have got a picture. I'm looking at him now. I don't. No, I'm just seeing a rooster.
No rainbow jacks, which is like an amberjack to us.
No, I don't think so. Like I said, he might not have sent me all his pictures yet,
Oh, okay.
but he told me he had a good time.
Good. We got Jim
wait.
Pace on there. Jim has got a fishing report for us today. And hey, Jim, how are you finding the water quality in your area? Is it pretty good? Or is this wind got it all stirred up? Let's see if he's listening in. Well, right now, I don't see a lot of snook in Tampa Bay. You said you haven't seen much. Few reds. Actually, there's a lot of rat reds this year already. You and I got into some, and at least that's a good indication because redfish grow pretty fast. You know?
Yeah, we've caught a lot of small ones on some docks this year, but we haven't caught any really big ones. Well, you've caught a couple nice ones.
Yeah. But we got that one at the one trip at the very end. We caught a nice one.
Yeah.
But again, now the shrimp looks like they're getting back to normal because we went through a period there a couple of weeks ago where the shrimp are so little that you had to use a number 6 hook to put it on the hook. If you put even a number 1 hook was way too big for those shrimp. But the last time I went out, when we went out last week, about a week ago, I mean, they were pretty good sized shrimp. That the mediums were back to where almost what a medium shrimp should be. But
Right.
I've noticed that over the years, they're resizing shrimp. What used to be a medium or a regular, it's really creeping into the medium slot slowly. You order 3 dozen or 4 dozen or 5 dozen medium, and you look at them and you say, God, about half of these are a little short of medium, And same way with the large. That some of those large ones used to be nice, and now they've gotten back. So
Yep.
again, it could be overfishing out there or the weather. These shrimpers don't want to go out very far if it's blowing like crazy, and I don't blame them. Why put your life in danger over some shrimp? So
Sergio, I take that back. Hal did catch a sailfish. I
He
got a
did?
picture of it. I sent it to you.
oh, okay.
I don't know if you can pull it up or not, but yeah. I mean, put it this way: he's got a picture with a sailfish.
Yeah, maybe somebody else caught it because he likes to
Yeah.
take pictures of fishes. I noticed that.
We'll find it.
He'll say, "Let me look at that sailfish. Take a picture quick."
We'll find out on Saturday.
On Saturday when he comes to the show. Yeah, we'll put some pressure on him. And but the other thing, if anybody out there is listening in, I'm trying to know what's going on with CCA. There's only supposed to be a youth tournament this year, but I haven't heard much. I haven't had no talk on Facebook, on Instagram. I don't see anything being talked about what's going on. I did get a notice from Lisa that CCA is going to be at our 5th annual kids fishing clinic in June 6th, but I don't know if she's going to be there or not, because, and her words to me on her text was, it's only me now. So I guess maybe they got rid of a bunch of the staff since they're not doing the regular tournament anymore. I don't know, you know. That's correct. Only youth division for Star. Well, Donald, you're into that pretty good. What about, I guess that, I wonder what the prizes are going to be. See, well, one of the things I heard is that a lot of the companies that were donating boats and all that, they were pulling out. So that kind of, that gives you your prizes, gets it way down. And what used to get, and I say used to get people all pumped up, was a chance of winning a Hughes or a Pathfinder boat, or they used to give away, a Chevy pickup truck. And I mean, that motivated people to try to get in it, but that kind of died down, Oh, Donald said it's nothing but scholarships. So so no prizes, Donald? No,
Well, scholarships aren't fun.
no, I mean, and
Yeah.
they're probably like, $5,000 scholarships or something like that. But yeah, so I guess they got rid of all the prizes. I'm gonna have to get a hold of Lisa and just see, or maybe get her on the air with us if she wants to talk and see what's going on, because what is it, March, April, May? Yeah, we're 3 months away before usually the tournament starts, but they should be talking about it now, getting things cranked up, because it takes a while to get it going. No prizes as of right now. That may change. Okay. Now, Donald, did they get rid of a bunch of the staff? Because it sounded from what Lisa sent me that they had gotten rid of a lot of her support staff. Or at least that's what it sounded like, I don't know. But that's not going to help any. Scholarships are great. I think it's a great thing. But sometimes having something, a boat, sure helps a lot better, but you never know. Now, Ron, in your backyard,
Yes,
wait a minute,
sir.
let's see, Donald, it's still free for the kids. That I don't know about the staff. Okay, it's still free for the kids. So I guess the kids can fish in the tournament for free as long as you're a member of the CCA. My grandson Henry is signed up, but he's got to be Donald. He's got to be a member of the CCA to be in the kids division, but he doesn't have to pay for the tournament. Is that correct? I'm trying to see what he says. Because that's where I'm confused. If it's just for kids, are the kids do they get to fish in the tournament for free as long as they're signed up as a CCA member, or is it a family thing, or do they have to pay to be in the tournament? So I don't know. That part I don't know. But when he gets back to us, you said in your backyard you haven't seen a lot of snook?
No.
Some trout. Is the trout still there?
Yeah, a lot of trout, and earlier there are some small snook, but usually in the wintertime you see some bigger ones, and I haven't seen any bigger ones this year.
But
Yeah.
the trout are okay.
Oh yeah, there's been lots of trout, more than normal. So I don't know
That's
if the trout are just faster than the snook, and the snook don't like to hang around the light, but I just haven't seen a whole lot of snook just in the canal period. And usually the canals they hang out in here to get warm. They may not be eating or anything, but usually they're still hanging out, and I haven't seen that either.
or any redfish at all.
No, but I don't see a lot of redfish in the canals around my house anyway.
They don't go. And and you notice that a lot of those redfish we were catching, that they were almost white. They were pale. They
Very
had no
light.
color.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Not Yeah, not like the Louisiana redfish.
No, well, even normally we
Yeah,
get some real
yeah,
pretty nice redfish down here that are real
yeah.
bright red and have some copper in them, but there has to be a family member that's in CCA and a sub member for the kids. Okay. It's $10 for a youth membership. Star is free. Okay. So if the kids join CCA, but he's got to be a sub member, that means somebody in his family's got to be a member. Then the kid pays $10 to be in CCA and he gets to fish in the tournament for free. That's not bad.
That's not bad. No.
No, it's not bad at all. You know, and is it going to be, I guess, the other thing is it just going to be redfish only again? Or are they still, I would presume, because that's, I think what got them in trouble. How many garbage cans of dirt, of trash did you pick up or this and that? I presume maybe they're just going back to the original roots, you know, just redfish. I don't know. Let's see. I have a lot of springs up on this, so they actually come that way. Nope, many species. Well, they're making it, and it is a tag. So I guess they're going to be tagging redfish, snook, trout, because Donald said there's going to be many species that are going to be in the Star Tournament. Only saltwater species. Okay. No. Are they going to be tagged? Is it got to be a tagged species, or is it just the biggest fish caught? I don't know.
Sergio, maybe you ask him to send a video.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to find out because it's intriguing, very intriguing. All right, let's get let's see here. Let's get Tony Franklin's fishing report.
Hi, Captain Tony Franklin back once again with this week's fishing report. We're going to start out with the weather conditions. It's been a little cool this week. We had a real cool start to the week, so the water temperature is still fairly cold. I'm going to tell you what's been working the best this week and what made
I lost the
Okay.
feed. Is this?
Yeah.
You still have them?
No, the video went away. Everything else is fine.
I don't hear anything. I don't see anything.
So, Hota, if you can hear us.
Hi, Captain Tony Franklin back once again with this week's fishing report. We're going to start out with the weather conditions. It's been a little cool this week. We had a real cool start to the week, so the water temperature is still fairly cold. I'm going to tell you what's been working the best this week and what may continue to work for the upcoming weeks. The sheephead bite has been really good around residential docks, any kind of oyster beds, structure, seawalls. They're also been around the artificial reefs, a little deeper water there around the artificial reefs. It's been good for some of the larger ones. We're using shrimp, just small pieces of shrimp on a #1 circle hook with a little split shot to get it down. That's all you need. Some people swear by the larger fiddler crabs for the bigger sheephead, but they really don't care. Either one's going to work. There's been action for small redfish around some of the backwater creeks. Haven't been really seeing a lot of large ones, but we've been catching quite a few small redfish on shrimp also. They've been in the backwater creeks, up in some of the bigger canals, residential docks, so that's where you want to try those areas this time of year. Like I say, shrimp is the bait right now. The sardines are probably 2 or 3 weeks away from coming in. That's if the water temperature stays up and comes up. There's been spotted sea trout, 3 to 5 feet of water on the grass flats. They've also been around some of the deeper mangrove cuts in the residential canals and these backwater creeks, focusing on the backwater creeks with this warmer water temperature. Haven't really seen, I've seen some snook, they're not really biting. Can't really get one to bite. Seeing quite a few though, so that's a good sign. But the ones are seeing are way back in the backwater creeks up in that warmer water. For action, there's been bonnethead sharks. We've been catching some small black drum. We've been catching some whiting. So there's been a little bit of everything out there. Silver trout, spotted sea trout. It's all kind of working in the same areas. So it's been quite a bit of action around. So get some shrimp, get out of the water. That's my report for this week. Tight lines, and I'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, Ron, it looks like we got it
Yes,
all
sir.
put together. Donald gave us all the information. It's $10 for the kid to be in the tournament, as long as, he's a sub member, somebody in the family's a member, and everything else. I guess it's going to be all kind of species, saltwater. Every time they catch a fish, they enter it and they get a raffle ticket. I guess they give you a number. And then they're just going to have a raffle at the end. That's what it sounds like, according to Donald. It's a raffle ticket. Every entry gets a raffle ticket.
So you
So
catch more fish, you increase your odds.
That's right. But, the thing is it all on the same day? Again, I really would like to get, we got to figure it out. Because what happens if you're in a school of trout and you catch 25 trout? You got 25 tickets? Can you imagine that?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it doesn't, I'm sure they got to figure it out somehow, but I'm looking at, we got a pretty full moon. It's a pretty
Oh yeah,
bright moon.
it's full.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's full.
Yeah, you go out there in the backyard at night and you don't
Yeah.
need a light. It's
Yeah.
like a lantern out there. It's pretty good. And oh yeah, Donald said it's still Memorial through Labor Day. So it's just like the All-Star tournament, except it's only for kids, no tag fish. It's just you enter a fish, you get a ticket number. I'm sure that's how they do it.
Huh.
That's
Well,
about it.
maybe there's a limit of one ticket a day or something like that.
Or one ticket per species per day,
Yeah,
something like that. And I'm
'Cause
sure you
you're
got to
right.
send in the picture.
You're
you know.
right. You could sit there and catch 50 trout, on some days.
I kind of lost your. Hold on, I lost his voice.
You could probably sit there and catch, 20 or 30 trout in one day. That'd be a lot of tickets.
It's real low. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's the thing, Ron. If a kid's in a school of trout and he catches 25 trout, does he get 25 entries, or do they limit you one per species per day, something like that?
I don't know. We'll have to find out.
I tell you what, we're full of questions today, aren't we?
Well,
It's kind of crazy.
I don't have any
Now,
kids.
at the boat show, that we got to let people know, we're going to be showing you some new products. We're going to have the shrimp walker. We can demonstrate it for you. You got to look at this product, because the shrimp walker really works, especially when you're using live shrimp. It is fantastic. And we're going to have the flashing assassin, also the jig heads there to show you how they work. And actually, we did pretty good fish using those flashing assassins with artificial baits a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
Yep.
They work good. It's a very tough bait.
I thought they worked very good for us. So, oh God, what's that? The Donald said there's no limit on catches, and includes pinfish, etc. Catfish, pinfish, Jesus, I don't know. Well, bless their heart. They know better than we do.
It's just for the kids.
Let's get Jim Pace on.
Hey guys, Jim with your Pasco County Fishing Report. A few things to go over this last week. Things definitely changed throughout the week that had to make me adjust how I was fishing. Earlier in the week, it was windy when I got out. Wednesday, Thursday, it was windy. The main bite on those 2 days were trout and little rat reds. I was using artificials only, and I was using artificial shrimp with Procure and suspended twitch baits. Not sure the exact size, but in a mullet color. They weren't the large ones, but they were suspended twitch baits. They worked really well around oyster beds and inside these inlets to these canals. When the water was moving that little bit, because tides were not good on Wednesday or Thursday, they had that weird flat tide. But I did get on some nice trout, nothing too large, 18, 19 inch on the average there. but fun bite overall, especially with the rat reds. It was good to see a lot of the small redfish still around and doing really good. It's always good this time of year to see those little rat reds. On Saturday we went out. It got super foggy on me to where I couldn't venture too far, but I made do with what we had. We ended up getting on a really good redfish bite on the outgoing tide. Caught a lot of nice larger size reds. Not too large, but you know, the good fighting kind. Those were on cut pinfish and cut mullet. I did do a little experiment. So anybody's curious, I tried to use frozen mullet versus fresh mullet. I didn't get a single bite on the frozen mullet cut. Just give you guys, take with that what you want, but all my bites came on fresh bait. So sometimes if you're not getting the bite and you're using cut, frozen, whatever you're using, that might be the reason why you're not getting the bite. But other than that, it was a great bite on Saturday. We were just using, during the tide when it was up stagnant, I was just using cut pins and cut mullet, with using no split shot on it to keep it up in the grass line a little better. Those got the good bite on the reds there. And then trout as well. What I was doing for the trout was, as I was drifting into my redfish areas, I was just pitching shrimp, artificial shrimp. I was just throwing them, just fan casting as much as I could, and just letting it go to the bottom, pop it once, reel down my slack, pop it again, reel down my slack. And they were hitting it always on that. As soon as you reeled down, as soon as it started fluttering, they nailed it. Trout was really good on Saturday as well. So going forward this week, if I to focus on anything, I'd probably still focus on trout. But now with it warming up, maybe we'll start getting into some snook, and should have some fun with that bite. But I'll get with you guys beginning of next week and see what update I can give you guys. See ya.
That's a good report. Very good, Jim.
Yeah. Sounds like Jim's been catching some fish.
Yeah, yeah. You know, if you're fishing that river in some of those areas, that water gets a little warmer, Ron.
Yeah.
Just like in Crystal River, and you got a little more protection from the wind once you get back into a lot of those islands back in there.
Yeah.
And what I noticed with Jim fishes and even Mike and all that, you don't have the traffic or the impact that we do down here. I mean, remember we go to some of those places, you don't see a boat around us.
Yeah.
You hear one once in a while. And when we get into Tampa Bay, it looks like ants coming out of an anthill, coming out of that ramp in the marina. So I think that's a good advantage where he's at. Well, same way with Tarpon Springs when we were fishing with Mike Dawson. I mean, he did pretty good. We didn't see a lot of boats that day, did we?
No, it was a nice day. We didn't see very many boats at all. We saw some bigger boats that he said were doing the loop, but they weren't fishing. They were just riding. Yeah.
So I think they have some good advantages up there. They don't have the impact that we're having down here as far as on the water, but that was a good thing if people caught into that about the fresh bait versus the frozen bait. Now, I thought about this. If you do get like, let's say, even thread fins, cut thread fins are good bait, or pinfish. What happens if you pre-cut that and then soaked it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer, but put some like maybe Manhattan oil in it and get it to maybe saturate into that meat because you're freezing it? You think that would help?
Got to try it. There's only one way to know.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about that. I said, what happens? I just hate to use Manhattan oil because, God, if it gets on your clothes or on the boat on the glass, it stains the heck out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like when you buy these artificials that come with all the liquid on them. You might as well throw it away when you're done because it's going to leak somewhere.
Oh God, yeah. And but I thought about that. I thought about, you know, or even though you're using cut bait, will Procure help, you think? If you put a little bit, if it's been frozen?
I don't know. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The live, the fresh bait is always better than frozen. Uh,
Because I
I
mean,
don't
you
know.
know, once the water temperature starts to warm up, we start catching pinfish. Man, you get you a bunch of pinfish, and fresh cut pinfish is terrific. And actually, thread fins are very
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Cut thread fins because they're real oily, and when they're fresh, you cut them up into chunks. They work really good. The only thing that I found out that is good frozen bait is a Spanish sardine.
Yeah.
And the Spanish sardine, I think, is because it's a real oily fish that maybe that helps it. And another thing about Spanish sardine is you got to look at the eyes when you buy that 5 pound box. If it's got pink eyes or red eyes, you want to stay because that's stalled out a little bit and got refrozen. And at that point, they're not very good. The other thing, I don't know why people love to do this, but the first thing they do is they get that 5 pound box and they stick it in a bucket with water to start thawing it out. Spanish sardine is a type of fish that when you cut it up, when you put it on a hook, you want it frozen because by the time it gets down there to the bottom or sits on the bottom for just a couple of minutes, it thaws out. If you put it on when it's already been thawed out for a while, it's real mushy. You notice that? It
It'll
doesn't
fall
stay on the
off
hook.
easy.
Yeah,
It'll
it's
fall
easy
off.
to fall off. So you want it frozen. You want it to get down there and stay on the hook for a while before anything takes it. And I guess that's why I like to use a little piece of squid with it, because the squid just adds that extra flavor and lets the little fish pick on it before they take the Spanish sardine. But I always thought Spanish sardine was one of the best baits. I know for offshore, that was my number one dead bait was Spanish sardines all the time, always. You know,
Well, it's not easy to show up in the morning ready to go fishing and have a fresh mullet. You know,
I
yeah,
know.
it's not easy. You
Now,
got to go find the mullet.
if you had a place that you can catch it, and again, yeah, you know, even if you caught it the night before, if you iced it, it'd be okay.
Yeah.
It's I think when you freeze it and mullet, I don't know if you ever noticed, when you get a frozen mullet and you cut it up, the meat is like mushy. It
It's
doesn't
mushy.
stay on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes right
Yeah.
off. I mean,
It
you put a
doesn't
chunk
it
on it.
doesn't freeze. Yeah, it doesn't freeze well.
No,
Yeah.
it's not a fish that you can freeze. You got to either fresh or you put it on ice, and then that'll work pretty good. All right, let's see. We got Ken Burke. Let's get Ken on.
Hi, this is Captain Ken Burke with CaptainKenny'sFishingAdventures.com with my report from the South Shore, Tampa Bay. Sheephead have been hitting pretty good. Started to catch some of the good sized ones in the 15 to 17 inch. And I've been using medium shrimp on a 2-aught circle hook with just enough weight to hold the bottom. I've been catching them on any kind of rock structure or along the edges of the shipping channel. Trout, well, trout I like to fish this time of year with some artificials. My favorite one is the Mirror Miridine, and I've been using the pink back with the chartreuse belly, MR17. And then also the Mirror Little John and the red and gold flake on a 1/4 inch jig head. Find some edges of the flats where it drops off, you know, from maybe 4 to 6 feet, and then the potholes that are a little deeper in the grass. They're you have to work it a little slower this time of year when the water's still cold. But if you work it at the right speed, the right places, you'll find some trout. This is my report for this week. I'm glad to be able to get back out on the water and start doing these reports again, and hope to see somebody out there fishing, So let's go catch some fish. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ken. You know, we did a couple of shows with him in the past, and he's a really he's one of these captains that you can't get him upset. You know, some of us captains we get ticked off when you tell a client how to do something and you got to bite your tongue. And but him, I don't think that could affect
Uh,
anything.
he's a nice guy and pretty easygoing.
Yeah, he's got that easy personality. So Ron, what do you think? What about, have you heard anything about offshore fishing? Anything at all?
No, I have a couple of friends with offshore boats, and they haven't been out lately with the wind. They haven't been out. So
Yeah, I don't think a lot of the offshore guys have been doing much lately. You know,
I'm ready though. It'd be nice to get
whole
out there.
guys. Yeah. And by the way, I didn't see that boat yesterday when I came through. I got off 54.
Oh,
I,
the
I
one we
want,
looked at.
yeah, I wonder if they took it to the boat show.
They should.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it'd be
So,
interesting to see if boat sales have been down. It'd be interesting to see how they price them this year.
well, I understand they're still doing pretty good, and the interest rate did drop. I think it's down to
Yeah.
6 on some boats, but it was up there at 8 or 11, 12.
Yeah.
So that should help them sell some boats this weekend coming up. I hope so, because everybody's got to make a living. The salesman's got to make some money to pay their bills. So I'm in favor of all of that. Now, what I'm looking forward to is for the bait to move in. Once that bait gets into the bay, we can rock and roll. And I'm looking forward. I want to fish that, do a couple of shows. You ever fish the Rattlesnake Key area? You know where it's at?
No, I'm not sure which.
It's the south end of Sunshine Skyway, southwest.
Oh, yeah, I've been down there, but I haven't fished there very
Okay.
much.
About not too far from shore, there's a natural reef that runs. You're in about 5, 6 feet of water, and you'll drop down to
Mhm.
about 10, 12 feet, and it's like a gully, and it runs for maybe 3 or 4 football fields. I want to go fish that. I haven't fished in a long time. We used to go in there and pull some nice grouper in the spring. Tarpon would run that little gully in there, and we used to catch
Mhm.
all kind of really good fish, even some nice cobia out of there. So I want to try that. And another place that we've got to go, we got to do a show on mackerel and trout fishing off the Pilot docks in Egmont, that area
Oh
right
yeah.
there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
go ahead, go ahead.
I said, hopefully we have a good year for mackerel.
Yeah, I hope so. Especially last year was okay, but the year before and the year before that, we had some big mackerel in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
I mean, we had
Yeah.
some mackerel look like small kingfish. Uh, the kingfish bite wasn't that good the last 2 years. Maybe this year we'll have a good kingfish bite.
Yeah, but you and I caught a lot of mackerel in the 5 pound range. They're pretty big ones.
Yeah. I mean, we can't complain. So I'm hoping that the kingfish come in, because we're going to go out there and we're going to go for hogfish. As soon as this weather settles, we're going to run out and get some hogfish. We got to do a show on hog fishing. You don't have to go very far to catch those suckers. They're out there in about 25, 30 feet of water on the rocks. You know, I know that when I was talking to Bill over at Gandy Bait and Tackle, a couple of the captains came in and they were looking about 15, 20 dozen medium shrimp to go hog fishing. And he looked at him, he started laughing. He says, "Are you crazy? I can even get regular shrimp, and you want 15 dozen mediums. There's no such thing." Okay, Michael Haynes says, "Just got home. Sorry I missed it. We'll see you guys on next Saturday." Yep, I understand, Michael. Hey, I told the pilot to get you there early, but he didn't listen to me. He just, these pilots don't listen to you at all. They do whatever it is that they want to do, you know. But yeah, so this year I'm looking forward to doing that, because I love that West End boat. So I'm going to put it through its paces. I want to do hogfish. I want to do the kingfish. I want to do some cobia over the wrecks. And I got that one little wreck, Ron, that I keep telling you about that I haven't been out there in years, but it's only in 30 feet of water, not far from Egmont. I used to go in there and really get some nice fish.
I'm ready. We just need the wind to cooperate.
All right, let's see. And Don says, I will share some pictures of my catches from Hilton Head Island. So it's so beautiful there. It reminds me of Louisiana. All right, Donald, you're talking ahead of time, so I hope you get a bunch of fish because
I
we're
hope
going
he
to want
does
some
too.
pictures. Yeah.
I hope he does too.
And all right. Oh, and Greg Lair said to hit him up if we want to get some hogs with him. All right, Ron. Greg, we're going to call you because hey, we want to show on hogs, and I love it. Hogfish are good eating. Now that's one fish that I will eat. No problem about it. Yep.
Yep. That's just about all I eat when we go to the Keys. It seems like everything's hogfish.
Now, have you eaten lionfish yet?
No, I'm not. No.
Yeah. You know, it's $30 a pound in the Keys, they told me. But they said they're delicious. Now, you
I'm
know,
willing to try it.
when I hear people say, $30 a pound, and I'm, in my mind, I'm thinking the lionfish that in my aquarium, like this. But then I saw some pictures about a week ago of people getting spearfishing lionfish. Some of those suckers are 20 inches, 24 inches long. They're big.
Yeah, I don't think you can have one that big in your aquarium, Sergio.
No. But that's how all this started. All these people were buying these lionfish. I was guilty of that years and years ago. I had 2 baby lionfish, and they got to be so big they started eating everything in the tank. So I put them in a bucket. When I went grouper fishing in the Gulf, I dumped them because I didn't want to kill them. Well, how do I know they were going to multiply? I thought they were just going to go down there and just die from old age, and they just multiplied. All right. So, and Real Deal Sport Fishing Clearwater Beach has been killing the hoggies. So we got 2 or 3 people. Well, you know what? But the trouble is the wind. If it wasn't the wind, we go hog fishing. I go hog fishing this Wednesday. But it's the stupid wind to going offshore. I don't want to fight that. I'm getting too old to fight those big seas out there.
Yeah.
Of course, you're not. You're a young guy like you can handle it.
Well, Sergio, you are a fair weather fisherman.
Yeah, I am. I'm. The older you get, the smarter I get.
Yeah.
I used to say when I was real young that the only time I didn't go fishing is if I couldn't open the door to the truck because the wind wouldn't let me open it. And then I got the feeling that, well, if I can open it halfway, maybe it's still not good, But hey, what can I tell you? But we do want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please tell all your friends about fishing, the Florida West Coast Fishing Report, and like and subscribe our shows on Fishing Adventures Florida. We're on YouTube, Carbon TV, Angling TV, Waypoint TV, Gen 7 Outdoors. But at least go to YouTube, subscribe. That helps us a lot. It helps us grow. We're only about 3 from breaking 43,000 subscribers. We need 3.
Uh-oh.
Tomorrow. And Ron, thank you for coming in after a hard day's work and helping us out. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.